And welcome to a Super Bowl recap of Sports Gluttons. Thanks you're out there. If you could hear me, give me a thumbs up so I know that everybody's working, and it's good to see. I see we have a new guest. Bill, I'm going to tell you, I think your mic is muted, so take a look at your microphone. There you go. And we'll get to it in a second. Glad to have everybody here. And Rams won we are recapping the Rams' second Super Bowl win, but the first in Los Angeles, so the first as a Los Angeles Rams team. It was pretty exciting. As many of you know, I was part of the NBC production crew doing the graphics on the pregame and the live game. And it was somewhat of a grueling week. It was like an 80 to 100 hour week, and it was tough. My background here is like all messed up. It's been such a tough week putting things together. I'm only wearing the Bengals because I love their uniforms. I mean, I was rooting for the Rams, but I love the Bengals uniform. I think it's my favorite uniform, as many know, and we'll get to things. And so I'm going to share a few things before I bring on some guests. I'm going to share some pictures that we had. This is me over there at the field. So let me see if I can fix this layout here so I could be a little bit more, I'm going to do something here to make it a little more fun, because I want to show the, let's see. Let's see. There's me again, and the field was really good. This was here's something interesting if I could find it. Here was the field before the game. Let me see if I could find the field after the game. I know I got it somewhere. Field before, and where's the field after? I know I got it somewhere. I'm gonna have to find it. Oh, is this it? There's the field after. So it was quite a difference of what was going on. And in the truck, I mean, Lou is comfortable with this. This was my view. I got to see. Oh, this is halftime. If you'll look at the top, you'll see Snoop. He was taking a couple of puffs before we were able to see that. You didn't see it on TV, but Snoop's taking a couple of puffs there before the show, and before his halftime show. This is after the game, what we were getting to see, the camera things and the camera angles. And the field was actually really exciting, really cool to look at. And let me see what else we got. I got to go out before the game, and I got to see some of this, and a lot of Bengals fans were there, and that was pretty cool. Here's outside. If you haven't been to the stadium, it's a very unique stadium, and I really enjoyed being at the stadium. And let's see if I got a little So, oh, I got to get that picture out of here. As you could see, it's really exciting in the stadium. It's something, you're not getting to see on TV, the things that are going on the stadium, at the stadium. So it was really cool. It was fun to be at. Again, the week was really tough. We got to see, I sent some emails out, got to see halftime rehearsals and, the lip syncing and all that stuff. And, what did I send out? I think I sent out some other stuff. Let's see if we got that. I don't know where that stuff is. Yeah, I wanted to show the flip charts and sorry about that, folks. Here's some more stuff at the stadium. This was kind of an angle I got to see before the game. This was more cameras I was getting to see. And let's see, what is this one? Oh, there's Snoop again. We saw that one. So that's really it. And I'm going to do a quick intro of our first little video. And here we go.
A competitive Super Bowl 56 is in the books, and that means it's time for some tasty Casey takes. Something I found interesting were how many prop bets were falling early in the game. Will Kupp or Beckham score the first touchdown? Will Burrow or Stafford be sacked first? And would a non-quarterback throw a touchdown pass? All of those fell within the first quarter, I believe. Now maybe I was just a little more in tune to prop bets for this game, but it was something.
So, I don't know what happened there. I don't know why I popped that off. But that was interesting. And I'm going to bring on the guest. We're going to talk about that. And hello, my buddy Lou from Louisiana is out there. And
good evening.
Good evening. And we have we're going to get to, we have Tim from Arizona. And, Kyler Murray apparently came out. Who's the guy that Colt McCoy came out and said Tyler Murray, I don't know, it's probably not a rumor, at the end of the game didn't want to play anymore. He was hurt and he had enough. Yeah. So we'll talk about that. Hello, Mr. Julio. He's the happiest guy here. And Ms. Casey's here. Thank you for your input on that one. That was great because that happened early. I was a little shocked at a quick trick play from the Bengals. Mr. Jared, who could be having some Viking insight for us this week. Maybe, maybe not. They got problems. And Mr. Eric coming on. So, I got to get rid of that logo. Blocking Lou. So, where we got? Let's pull that out. There we go. So it's good to have everybody. And we got Bill. We got a newbie. Bill.
That's my man, Bill. He's going to give you a perspective from New England.
Bill?
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Where are you from?
Yeah. North Andover, Mass, just outside of Boston.
Oh, nice. Very nice. We got it.
I suckered him into showing up tonight.
Yeah, Lou put the heat on me and helped me get it set up.
Oh, cool. So what's your because I know Lou's got, some friends that are inside the numbers. Are you a sports TV guy? Are you a sports fan? Well, you're obviously a sports fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan and a TV guy. I've been to enough ball games in my life to be satisfied. I enjoy watching TV because I can delete all the commercials and fast forward and back forward, and so I'm a couch potato in that regard. But love the games and watch all the sports whenever I can.
Well, glad to have you. Glad to have you join. Yeah. And let's see. We got a little feedback going on. I'm gonna go to Julio first because big LA guy. So what do you must have been pretty excited.
Yes. After all these years, finally the LA Rams not the St. Louis Rams, have finally won a Super Bowl. All the pain and suffering. I've been following the Rams since Super Bowl 14, since Ferragamo, for God's sake. We finally got a Super Bowl, and I mean a real Super Bowl. With all due respect to Kurt Warner and Marshall Falk, that didn't count, man. That didn't count.
That don't count. That didn't count. They were not there. They were they should never have been in St. Louis, first of all, and but this was a Los Angeles happening, and it was an up and down season, and this was not surprising. Anybody could have won this Super Bowl, and I just didn't think Burrow was experienced enough to carry it through. I think that was a major problem. I think Casey, what was your thing? Let me say something. Someone's got some feedback going on. I guess you got a speaker on your thing to be able to hear, so that's going to make it a little tough. So just to be aware of a speaker. Casey, so we got your takes on the game, but overall, what did you think of the game?
It was competitive, which was great because I hate blowout Super Bowls. And I think at the end of the day, it was just a matter of one team made a few more plays. It was very true to form that the Rams were able to, strike that. Bengals were able to stay in the game, but Rams used their talent to win the game. Is the way I saw it. And I rode the Bengals all the way through the playoffs for my picks, but I picked the Rams. But I also knew the spread was going to be, they weren't going to cover the spread, which I got lucky on, to be honest. Because I think that the missed field goal, the missed extra point was probably the difference between the spread and not the spread, if I recall. It would have been a push, I think, if they made that extra point earlier.
Well, what'd they win by? They win by 3, or it was a 4.5 spread.
Rick's As I said, they won by a field goal.
Yeah, Rick's picks he was going with Cincinnati on that. I think there was a record bet made, a $5 million bet made on the Bengals. Yeah, it wasn't my bet, I'll tell you that.
The mattress guy, the mattress guy makes a bet every year of huge money, and he wins some. I think he's lost 2 years in a row though, for like a total of, I think it was north of $8 million, in that range in the last 2 years.
If you're betting $5 million on a game,
but I don't think he loses though, because the way he sets it up is that he gives you a free mattress if you pick the opposite team, or if you pick the team that he's betting on. So he actually hedges his bet. It's actually pretty brilliant. So.
Right. So, but if you have $5 million to bet on a game, you're really, you don't care whether you win or lose. Just makes it a little more.
If OBJ doesn't get injured, it's going to be a blowout.
His leg. He bent it like Beckham, huh? He was. That was so sad because there was a few kind of injuries that were almost happening in that game, and Beckham played great. Overall, I didn't think it was a great game. The first half was very slow. There was some very poor playing, and the second half just made it really exciting. I think the second half was much better than the first half.
Don't forget the Cup factor. He was very good.
Cup was unbelievable. Tim, from a non-Rams or Bengals fan, how did you see the game?
Yeah, I thought one of the things that people wouldn't talk about, Bengals defense played overall pretty well. I thought they stuffed the run a lot. Cup was just amazing. That guy can find a seam in his own defense like nobody else. I mean, it's just amazing. They can put 2 and 3 guys on him and he can find that opening. So that, he deserves it. I didn't think Burrow was inexperienced. I thought, he just can't win the line. And they got to do something.
Oh yeah, their offensive line is horrible.
Oh, he's not going to lead taking I think he's got 70 this year. Yeah, you can't physically take that kind of stuff. So,
Right.
but I got to hand it to Brown. Notice the Bengals have had really good drafts in the last 2 years. They've gotten amazing players, and they are a pretty deep organization. So it shows that at least if you put the money on identifying talent, you can do really well, as opposed to the Raiders and some of the others that really have blown it out.
Yeah, I thought Cooper Kupp was amazing. They didn't use him in the second half. I'm just trying to figure out an audio thing here. They didn't use him in the second half, and I was surprised. And then I got in an argument, not an argument, a discussion with someone at the game. I thought the plays, the Los Angeles Ram play calling was awful, and not that the Bengals was much better, but I thought it was awful play calling. And then the second half, because there was no real dominance, and they finally used Kupp. Like, I was talking to someone, they go, "Well, Kupp's being double teamed." All right, well, your other guys are dropping the ball; they're not catching the ball, or he's overthrowing them, and you need to figure out how to get to him. You need to figure out some plays and adjust. And the person's like, "What do you know? You're not out there." I'm like, "All right, I got no opinion. You know, you know better." Her brother was one of the scouts, so that made her an expert. You know, so Eric, well, what's your take on it? Who should be traded from that game? You know, you're going to come in with some of that stuff.
Well, no, I agree with Julio, and I've been a Rams fan since Roman, Gabriel, and Deacon Jones. The Rams were really sailing when Beckham was in there, and I think it would have been like 34-10 had he stayed in there. As soon as he got injured, all the momentum, all the air in the momentum balloon went out, and I was on pins and needles the rest of the game. The Bengals defense had them really shut down. I think they were probably triple teaming Kupp. They couldn't use their run game. And finally they had that last drive. And I was even nervous on the last drive because I thought they should have run on first or second down to eat up the clock. I mean, they still left a minute 40 for Burrow. So I was nervous all the way to the end. And fortunately, Aaron Donald shined when he needed to shine, you know, the last 2 plays of the game. So it was kind of a flat game until that last drive, and Kupp found a way to get open, and I won my big parlay, and I'm happy.
I didn't think Stafford had a great game until the final drive. That pass to Beckham was behind him. He threw the interception, the first one, and then even the second one, they were putting it on. I think it was the tight end or Skoranek. I can't remember exactly which one. It was out in front of him, and when you throw the ball not accurately, you get those kind of tip balls. Now Stafford came through in the end. That's his mojo, but he didn't have a really great game in my opinion.
No, I agree. I don't think Stafford played it. He threw 2 interceptions. One of them, the first one, we shouldn't have even thrown. That was he was like running around and we have a little comment here. Yeah, Todd, what do you know? It's not like you were there. Right. Yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't watching the game. And so I think Stafford did not have a good game. He didn't deserve MVP, and he didn't get it, and he didn't deserve it.
Hey, Todd?
Yes.
Just to piggyback off what Casey said, it's never a good thing when you're telling the receiver where to go, because the free safety in the corner are seeing that same, signage that you're telling your receiver, hey, go over there. Oh, well, okay, that's where I'm going to go too. Come on, I mean, and then he underthrew the pass. That was a terrible play.
Terrible. And I don't have the video of it, but the play where he looked one way and he threw the Kupp while he was looking. I mean, maybe you've all seen that video where he's looking to the right and Kupp is cutting across, and he's looking and he throws it. He had this peripheral vision, which was a great pass, but it was just weird. Him and Kupp were like magnets, and he did throw some other good passes, but when he wasn't throwing a Kupp, he was just not that good. We're going to add from Florida. I don't know. Rick Tugman, I don't know where he could be in Milan for all I know. And it's nice to have you, Rick. And did you watch the game?
Unmute your mic, Rick.
Oh, I didn't tell him to unmute. There he is.
I watched everybody. I watched bits and pieces of it. I just couldn't watch it. Sorry. I was watching commercials.
Were you watching Family Guy?
No, I was watching commercials.
Oh, so the first commercial, oh my God, it was so friggin' long. The game starts, the first set of
90 seconds.
And Lou, I'm watching the game, and my specialty is in-game content, and I'm doing the game. We had 3 graphic operators on the pregame, 3 on the game, and so Burrows, they had a 4 and out and a 3 and out. Remember, they went for the first down on the 4th, and then they had a 3 and out, and then he had a great. I think he scored in the next series or the following. And I go to the guy. Let's do a first 2 possessions, second 2 possessions for Burrow, yards, points, first downs. And the guy looks at me, and I'm like, dude, do you have any sense of what you're doing? Because I don't work for NBC as a whole, I'm freelance, and they pulled me in for the game. And I'm like, why am I here if you're not going to do this good analytical stuff? And because that was a great, they had 4 downs, 3 downs, 7 plays. And then the second set of downs, they got first down. I think they scored the field goal. They couldn't get into the end zone, but they at least drove. And the guy just did nothing. And I was like, all right, and if you notice, there was nothing great.
In all probability, he was what we call a spore. Studio person on remote.
Is that what that means? Because he's standing up, like attacking the monitor. There's 8 stat guys in there. He's
He can tell you what I mean.
Yeah, and he's got nothing.
I know exactly. I had those guys in boxing a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and I was like, we're not getting nothing in. And, the second half we could have, and I was like,
from a broadcast perspective, the highlight of the entire 5.5-hour overkill pregame show, in my opinion, was Burrows walking in a sateen camouflage suit that he looks like he got at Friedman's in Atlanta.
Right.
That place still open?
Yeah, yes. It was kind of like stripy, like Bengals, like Tigers. So, yeah. But if anyone doesn't know what Friedman's is, that's where a lot of players they specialize in like really funky
big shoes,
sportswear shoes. Craig Sager used to shop there a lot, and right. So while we talk, here's some highlights of the game we could watch while we talk. It's doesn't stream so well, but here we got Burrows throw a great catch on that. I don't know if Beckham scored yet, but this was the play to Kupp. Without Beckham, Beckham's touchdown was key, even though he didn't play the rest of the game. He made another couple of guys. Oh, you know what? I want to stop that for a second because Casey made a point about Nixon. I don't even know how to pronounce that guy's name. Let me see if I got it here. There we go.
A competitive Super Bowl 56 is in the books, and that means it's time for some tasty Casey.
That's not the one we wanted. Where is it?
You're complaining about.
Yeah, you need someone to take care of the tape room.
I do. It's a lot to put together. I don't know if I hold in the same.
A competitive Super Bowl 56 is in the books.
You know what? I took 3 of her videos in of all the same thing. I'm gonna fix that. So sorry about that.
For your person on remote.
Yeah, right. Fuck.
Wouldn't that be one person in the studio?
Yeah.
Hey, from a production standpoint,
we wouldn't have a clue the guy in the studio.
I think I missed it, but this was a game they were not using Spider. I don't remember seeing the aerial cameras.
They have.
I'm sick of looking at them.
I know.
It's overkill.
They had 2. let me see if I could
I
see
don't
him
remember
here.
seeing one in the entire broadcast.
You know, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Let me see if you can't see it in that picture because I saw it. I noticed them. You can't see them in
I
these
can't see the
pictures.
wires.
No, they had two. They had two.
Yeah, Chris,
Yeah, no, they had two, and
And Todd,
yes,
they did during the production. They did one of my least favorite things again. They've been doing this year. When Beckham got hurt, they did an extreme close up onto him on the ground, and he was writhing in pain, and he had anguish on his face. And again, I have no problem with kind of showing it from a medium shot, but God damn it, they got to go in there and get the guy's actual facial expression. And I just think it's disrespectful. I've seen it this year way too many times, and as soon as it came on, I just gave it that no
It's
good.
about the emotion of the game. That's why they do it.
yeah, you know they you got to show it because it's news. You know, they want to stay on him. It's man bites dog type of thing, and
It's news that he was hurt, and it's news on a medium shot. But you know, it's just macabre, not the perfect word, to go
Right.
that extreme close up because it's again, it just to me it's too much. You can tell
Would
the
you be
story
less
very well
offended?
without it.
Would you be less offended if it was just like a quick shot and then back to the wide shot?
Maybe because they definitely linger. You know, they're looking. Whoever's operating, I'm at that point. Who's ever making the decision how close they go is in that case they decided we're going to stay here and get as much emotion out of that as we can. And I agree with you, Rick, that yeah, if you want to get in there for a quick close up, he's in pain, great. But the lingering is just, to me, again, it's a little too much.
Right. And I
They've
get it.
been doing that in the Olympics, especially with Michaela Schifrin, just leaving the camera on her for nonstop. It is disrespectful.
Yeah. I'm watching all
it's
the
disrespectful, but they want
to.
to see. They want to. They want to show anguish. Remember the old Wide World of Sports where they would have the something in victory and the agony of defeat. Remember that?
Yeah.
You know, so I want to share. You know, so
FYI, there was 122 cameras used in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the half of them were ISO. Looked like a regular football game. to me.
most of them were ISOs. They had so many ISOs
yeah.
going on,
And they had,
you
they
know,
had like
because,
every player ISO, I think.
you know,
They had
that's
the
what.
cameras for it.
Oops.
Plus all the celebrities.
Yeah, well, they tape that stuff. That stuff's all re-recorded. They tape that, put it together as a package, and they play it as a package, and they lead.
Yeah, you could see like the cameras I had is you could see I had program, and then I had 9 cameras in front of me there, and then there were on the other side of program there was like 12 more cameras. So I had like 21 cameras in front of me.
How many units do they have? How many mobile units are there?
6 or 7.
Two for the pregame, like I don't even know, 6 for the game, and they had their separate truck for tape, and they had all the ESPN stuff was outside. So there was a lot.
The TD in that show just cuts the show. He goes when they do a replay. He replays to a special button, and there's another TD that does all the replay.
Yeah, Mike Tiffy was the show TD for this one.
Yeah, Mike's always the main guy. So yeah.
Well, yeah, it was a good show. It's a big show, but the pregame show. I don't know if anybody watched a pregame show. The pregame show was pretty good. You know, throughout the 5 hours, they had some really good
content. Yeah.
Yeah. Did anyone watch the pregame? No. Did you? And Julio, did you anything you liked? Do you remember? I mean, it's tough to remember. It was so long.
There was so much, but I like the story about the doctors that saved that woman's life, and on the flight from where was it, Lou? It was from like Houston to LA or something.
Yeah, and they went back and met them. The 3 doctors were on the plane, and she was suffering some kind of medical emergency. And these 3 doctors from Los Angeles, there was an announcement, are there any doctors on board? And they stepped up, and one of the doctors walks right up to the captain and says, if you don't get this plane down in a minute, this woman's not going to be around.
Wow.
And he saved her life.
You know,
And
I don't.
they ended up inviting the 3 doctors, 2 which were married, and another one to the game, and they showed him and the woman that they saved. That was the best part of the pregame show.
Yeah.
Human interest.
All right, Lou and Rick all fly a lot. How many people on that plane, when they said we have to make an emergency landing, how many people on that plane said, "Oh, fuck, no, come on"?
A few.
What if she dies before we even land? I mean,
It's
what
like
a
the guy who
waste
jumps out of a
time.
building. It's like the guy who jumps out of a building in New York City, lands in a car, and the woman comes out. I just had it washed.
Right, right. You're like,
Good joke.
oh man, frig, give her some. I'm gonna play.
Good story,
I'll-
though. It's a good human interest story, and NBC loves that stuff.
Yeah, it was. They did so many packages on that. It was unbelievable.
That was a great story.
I'm telling you, the pregame show. It was. We rehearsed it the day before. I'm like, oh my god, 5 hours. I didn't like their rehearsal situation because Saturday night, the main game comes in and they go, "Oh, we just found out certain things aren't working." And I'm like, "Well, why are you rehearsing it Saturday night? Why are you not rehearsing this Thursday or Friday so you can have Saturday to fix it?" Saturday night, I don't want to trash the show because I want, an Emmy nomination out of it, but I don't want to kill it. But, and like you said, Lou, these are studio guys on the road. And I didn't know this. So Sunday Night Football does their show from the studio. They send camera guys out, but most of their show is done from the studio, since COVID. And
The new world.
yeah. So I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play this. I want to get this in there, and I'm gonna do it this way.
Be right back.
Up.
I did the audio.
Received one Cooper Cup. Fun, I noticed. After watching Cooper Cup's amazing performance, it is a wonder why he only received one MVP vote.
For regular
Anyone
season.
who watched Rams game this year knew that he was integral to their offense, whether it was blocking, catching passes, or running the ball. I would really hope that in years to come, that the MVP voters could take a second look at other players other than quarterbacks when it comes to the MVP.
Yeah, she's talking about. Let me remove that. Talking about regular season, and Cup was just amazing in that game. Like, I don't even know if he dropped the ball. I wonder how many targets he had. And Jared, so did you? Being that were you rooting for the Rams at all, or Jared is a Vikings fan?
I mean, lightly rooting for the Rams only because I am in LA and I love most LA teams, being Dodgers and Lakers. I mean, mainly. But no, I didn't have a dog in the fight for sure. I was rooting for my squares, which I did hit in the first quarter. I had the 3-0 in the first quarter, so I won a good quick $500. So at that point, it was all good and celebratory, and it was just an entertaining standpoint. I will say this: I know Cup played well, and I know he got the MVP, and I guess that he deserved it. However, I kind of feel like, from my vantage point, the game was close, and I think Aaron Donald took that game single-handedly.
Saved it.
Yeah, I can tell you the play that sparked him. There was a play that Burrow was running, and he was inbounds, and Donald just flung him like he was nothing, and Burrow flew, and everybody wanted to flag, but it was legal. It was inbounds. It was a legal hit. He just pushed him, but Donald was just a beast, and but that sparked Donald. That after that, he was like a man on a mission, and I think, like I said, he single-handedly saved that game for the Rams, because that drive, they very well could have got a touchdown and won. So
yeah, it was doubtful for a while.
They got it.
Yeah, absolutely. That key play at the end, he blew through a double team. It shows how bad Bengals line is. A double team on Aaron Donald, and he blew through it and hit Burrow for the final takedown.
Yeah. This was another game
Yeah,
that ended like in the last 3 minutes or 2 minutes. It was, out of playoffs. It was such a
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the whole playoffs have been very entertaining, and I needed that since, like I said, I didn't have a dog in the fight. So I needed entertainment value from all these games, and I certainly have gotten that. So,
well, I don't know. I had this like premonition that Jared was yelling, we need Fran Tarkenton in there.
well, certainly I wouldn't have mind Fran maybe 30, 40 years ago, maybe longer, 50 years ago, I guess at this point.
But he never made the Super Bowl, did he?
He had to have. The Vikings.
Yeah, the Vikings had 4 Super Bowl appearances. He just never won.
Lost 4.
Yeah, four losses we got, and hopefully, and the sad thing is I haven't been around to watch any of them, so I'm just rooting for my team to get there. I've seen 2 NFC championships, or actually 3 NFC championships go sideways. Obviously, the last one against the Eagles that didn't turn out well, and then the one with against the Saints where they basically went after Brett Favre and just tried to assassinate him. Basically, it was the what do they call that? The something gate,
Bounty Gate.
There you go, Bounty Gate. And then the first one that broke my heart was 1998 when the Vikings were 15-1. We had Gary Anderson, which we know him with the single bar, right? And he did not miss a single field goal throughout the whole season. And then NFC Championship against the Falcons, he has a chance to kick it to win, and he misses the field goal. Perfect all season long. Misses the field goal.
Choked. Bad time to choke.
right.
Yeah,
Hey, Jared. Hey, Jared, now you guys have a Sean McVay disciple running your team, so let's see how that goes.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, I'm okay with it. At first, I was kind of hoping for Harbaugh, but the more I thought about it, this is like new blood. This is somebody who's going to have a different mentality. I like Mensa, who is the GM, and he actually had Harbaugh. They had him in the office for 10 hours. Never made him an offer. So I got to trust that Mensa knew what the hell he's doing and hope that he knows what the hell he's doing. And, obviously we having an offensive guy as our head coach now, maybe we'll get an offensive line. Maybe they'll make that a priority. I don't know. Might help Dalvin Cook a little bit. But that's what I'm hoping for. And we'll see. But
since you're talking about other teams, so Bill, you must be a Patriots fan, right?
Open your mic, Bill.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I've been a Patriots fan since they were still playing in Schaefer Stadium, sitting on concrete seats. But I have to tell you, the last 2 years, I've been a Tampa Bay fan for obvious reason. I'm still getting over the game again.
And Bill froze.
Yeah, he's
cold up in Boston, so
I assume you're saying because of Tom Brady is why he went to the Buccaneers. I'm just
yes.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
There he is. He's back.
And that's the main reason that. This thing's been cutting out.
Yeah, we missed the whole punchline.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, after that loss, I decided that LA had a pretty good team, so I picked them +3. And if my wife would have let me bet, I'd have made a lot of money. But then I figured I'd have to pay off the referees for those 2 cheesy calls at the end in our favor. I was happy to see them, but I would have rather seen, some legitimacy. You guys haven't talked about those 2 penalties at the end, but I thought they were a little bit cheesy. I don't know.
Yeah, well, let's talk. Now you brought up the penalty. Let me see if we're right on this. So this one. Let's see if we get to play it here. Oh, I gotta do it a different way. Because we had that face mask penalty that wasn't called.
Yeah.
They even out. I mean, Bill's right. That first penalty was very questionable when the linebacker 55 got cut, but the penalty on the first play of the second half where the Bengals got the touchdown, that was almost as bad as the Saints not getting the pass interference. So penalties kind of even out.
Yeah, one of the worst calls ever.
I thought it was good that the refs didn't make so many calls until the very end.
Well, that was
Yeah.
like karma. You know,
It
that
was
was
a
like
makeup.
karma.
It was
They
a
didn't
makeup
get that
call. It was a makeup call.
What I hated about the call on, I believe it was number 55, the first pass interference or holding
Right.
call on Cup. What I disliked about it was it took away the drama because it would have been 4th and goal at that point. That's what I would. That was my biggest thing. Was like I would have loved to have. Instead, it was 1st and goal. Now about half the distance to the goal yard. But God, that would have been a great 4th down play if they didn't call that.
Yeah, you bet.
Right. It
Hey,
would have been a much more interesting situation.
Getting back to that T. Higgins non-call with the face mask, that was a dirty play, you guys. In my opinion, I'm a Rams fan. I'm gonna call it like I see it. That was a dirty play. I didn't appreciate him dancing in the end zone like it was a clean touchdown. That was bull crap. I hated that. Shame on you, T. Higgins.
Oh, I felt like it's going to come up to it soon. I felt like he kind of knew what he did, and he felt like guilty. I don't know. Like, did you find him really celebrating on that?
Yeah, he was doing that. What's that dance that they do at LSU? He did the whole 9 yards in the end zone.
Gritty.
Yeah, he was doing that.
And why does he do it? Because they send the camera right in his face.
I love the dancing, but they cut away from the celebrations a lot. So here's the trick play. That was that touchdown, and
you know that play, Todd. They ran that because they did really good scouting
here
on
it
the
is.
Rams
Here's the
defense.
penalty.
Yeah, that one.
See, I thought the guy fell down. It was so quick. It's so hard to see that. Here it comes. Oh wait, does he do his?
That's dirty, man. That is so dirty.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I think he got it. I think it was so quick, though. It's hard for the ref to see that, and the ref was behind him, and that's a tough call. That's just a tough. That's a tough. Oh, Julio, what were you saying? They did it because what?
You know that option play we're mixing through that touchdown. They scouted
here's
the
where
Rams.
Burrow got hurt,
Yeah.
and that was a little scary. Yeah, so go ahead, Julio. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no. So, I don't know if you remember against the Niners, the last game of the season, when the Niners got into the playoffs by beating us at home, they ran an option play, a halfback option play where Deebo Samuel threw a touchdown pass. You remember that?
Yeah.
Same exact play. And they knew that our defense was going to be aggressive, so they
Here
ran
was the
that play.
holding. Okay, here's the holding. They're going to review it. I'm sorry, I just can't stop the tape. So
Yeah, that was against Wilson, I believe.
yeah, and this is why I didn't like this call, because he's holding him. Now, if the ball was wide to his left, then it would have been. But he actually held him closer to catch the ball. So he blocked the ball, and it wasn't a good pass.
Could they have let that play go? Yes. But
I think
honestly,
so.
I believe it was a makeup call for that non-call against Higgins.
Yeah, it could have been.
It did kind of kill the drama and the excitement of what would have been like Casey was saying. I wanted to just jump back to Cooper Kupp for 1 second. What Casey was saying about MVP. Yeah, you are a player of the game. You could have given it to Aaron Donald. I'm so tired of Aaron Rodgers getting it for the regular seasons, I think 2 years in a row. And Cooper Kupp, he had the Triple Crown. I think he was only the 4th player to have the Triple Crown. He had more yardage from the regular season and playoffs than anyone ever. And him and Matthew Stafford went 4 for 4 in that game and 12 for 12 in the fourth quarters for all the games. I just think only Jerry Rice is the only other guy to get Super Bowl MVP and the Triple Crown. I just think what he did was so incredible.
Let's welcome Remy in, and we'll get her take on things. So, you think what he did, Eric, during the season was incredible?
Yeah, I'm kind of tired of those MVP awards being just at the regular season when the playoffs matter so much in all the sports. I mean, it just seems by the time that the playoffs are over and they give the MVP for the regular season, it's such a moot point. It's kind of anticlimactic. And look where Aaron Rodgers is the last 2 years, at home after the first round.
He laid an egg against the Niners defense. And he still got the MVP.
Remy, what was your take on the game?
I thought it was fun. It was great. It was fun to watch. I'm really happy for Matt Stafford. Joe Burrow will be back, so I wasn't really that upset that he didn't get it.
No, Burrow's got a future. I mean, they need an offensive line. He got sacked so many times in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's lucky they got into the to the championship, but
Well,
that's their
they're
adjustment.
50 million
their
under
next
the
step.
cap.
That's their next
Casey,
step.
what was that?
The Bengals are 50 million under the cap, and they have, I believe, two
Oh,
draft
then they
picks
got-
in the first round. I think there might be. They have at least one, but they're 50 million under the cap, and they have at least one first round choice, if not two. Sorry.
So Remy, keep on. What was your observations on the game? And like, do you think Cup deserved the MVP? Do you say we were just talking about? I don't know if you saw the penalties we were talking about.
Yeah, I think all the penalties were legit, except for the one they didn't call on Boyd. It should never have been that 7 feet because that was a face mask. The other ones were pretty. I think they were justified to be called. I think Cooper Kupp got the MVP because he didn't get MVP for the series, but he did great. I mean, we don't know if Odell would have stayed in the game, what he would have done, but we also needed Stafford on that drive. They never give it to the defensive guy because Donald could have gotten it clearly. He could have gotten it too.
That would be interesting to give an offensive and defensive MVP. Because a defensive guy is rarely going to get it, and if ever, an offensive guy's always. But why not give a defensive MVP? Why not? And that might give guys more motivation also if they know one of us is going to get it for our play.
Well, I mean, they're motivated anyway. They're going to win a Super Bowl. I don't know. I know you were talking about the MVP. I mean, it's tough. It's always going to go to a quarterback because the quarterback touches the ball every single play. He touches it every single play, so he's going to get MVP most of the time. And honestly, Aaron Rodgers' numbers are great. I mean, everybody says, but Brady was better. But Brady didn't miss a game for COVID, and he missed. And the last game that they lost, they had the same record, but he missed a game, and Aaron didn't play half of the last game, so they probably would have won that game, and they would have beat Kansas City. The only legit loss they had was Minnesota. So, I mean, call it what you will.
So
they have to change it. You should have. They have to add some more awards. Get offensive player, and then give the MVP to the quarterbacks.
I don't know if you. In the pregame, Tony Dungy talked about it, and then I spoke to him after the show, talking about that, about how coaches, like this is more rule changes. Coaches should not be allowed to be interviewed until after the season, the Super Bowl, because it's distracting from the game. It's taking away, especially this time. There was all this drama that went on, and I think it's a good point. Let people finish, because didn't one of the Rams coordinators get hired to coach a team?
Yeah, he's coaching Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota, yeah. So that means he's busy going on interviews rather than concentrating on the Super Bowl.
I'll be back.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, guys, I got a call I got to take, but it's been fun as always. Todd, where do we go from here, man?
Well, I think we're going to take like a week or so hiatus. I got some more heavy travel coming up, and I'm not sure how we're going to lead. I'd like to talk more NFL, what adjustments teams need, what they're going to do for drafts. I think that's fun. We could do a little NBA stuff. I haven't really been following. I think you guys have. Eric, I know, has been following. I think. So we could definitely talk some NBA stuff. I haven't watched the game this year for personal reasons. So.
You think?
Hey, this is the first All-Star weekend in 23 years that I didn't do for TNT.
Wow.
This is I did the last 15 All-Star games and the last NBA All-Star Saturday night slam dunk contest. Did the graphics for since 1998, and this is the first year I haven't done it. So,
well, Todd, everybody, like I said, I got to head out, but keep me abreast of.
All right, Jared, we'll keep it going. The show's going to keep on going. I think this was a fun year. Thank you for joining us this year. And next season,
it's been a blast.
What was that?
So thanks for having me. It's been a blast, and I look forward to doing a lot more.
Yeah, it was fun. And all right, and I'm not going to hold you. I know you got to go. Yeah, we're going to next year's going to be even better. We'll get even more of a fun handle on this. Thanks, Jared.
That was good. All right, guys, take care.
Hey, Todd, we could be like, if you've seen the commercial for Dr. Pepper, the Fansville, if they all were like, where do we go after the college football season is over with? Do we disappear and stuff? That's like us. The NFL season ends, sports gluttons disappear. They go on a diet.
Well, honestly, I didn't know how involved we'd get in the NFL. Like, I didn't realize that you guys are so uh 3-6. I think did we lose someone else?
Tim,
No, Remy stepped away.
Yeah, but I think I don't know if we lost
Tim
someone else.
Tim.
So
By two.
Tim says he has an acting gig.
oh, Tim, we lost Tim. And I didn't realize how in depth we would get with the NFL stuff. And I thought it was great what we did this year. And next season, I want to kind of break it down a little more, just general, some odds talk, some fantasy football. I want to get. I know there's some guys that are into that. I don't really understand it too much, but we're gonna, it'll expand next year for that. And we're gonna be. We could. Oh, Tim had to take off. Baseball we got coming up. We got the strike going on. We don't know if they're going to start
No
playing.
baseball.
And hockey. I love hockey. One thing I want to do. I want to have eventually, because this thing came up. This supposedly was on top of the stadium after the game. I want to, and I've done this before. I think with Lou and Rick. We did favorite logos, and I want to do segments of that.
Yeah.
And I want to do favorite rings. I started looking at this stuff, and there's some really cool rings out there, and
They're all big.
friggin' huge. They are huge, and players sell them for money because when they have 12 kids by 8 women,
4 houses.
they need to pay for that. So. I want to get into some fun stuff with that too, like just favorite rings, and we could have like ring offs and logo offs, and we've done it. We did favorite names, like sports names, and that was always fun to do. And so we're going to get more into that. So, but back to the game. Let's see. So the something I thought about this. They played at LA, and the Rams were the visiting team because it was really the Chargers hosting. So it was like an American conference hosting. And the Rams got to use their own locker room. So I wonder, if that gives a little bit of a comfort advantage.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So, the Rams should have been made to use a different locker room. They should have had to flip. Maybe not use the Chargers locker room, but it should have been they should use the visitor locker room, and the Bengals should have used the Chargers locker room because they shouldn't be in the Rams locker room. Because it's like coming into your own, even if you're their away team, you're walking into your own living room. And, playing at home is one thing, but getting your own locker room, especially when you're the away team, is, what do you think? You think that gives an advantage?
They also had their own practice facility at Cal Lutheran, and that definitely gave them a good advantage.
That's true. And the hotels were kind of far away. And where was the Bengals were up in Encino, I think.
I thought they were using UCLA's practice field, but I'm not sure about their hotel.
Yeah.
Maybe
UCLA.
The Bengals were using UCLA, and then maybe LA was using. Where is LA, Eric? Where is LA's practice?
Cal Lutheran and Thousand Oaks.
That's what it was, Thousand Oaks. That's a far ride.
That's a hike.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, and
traffic going over.
Speaking of rides, Todd, I was curious about your traffic journey. That Super Bowl day, especially. What were your impressions?
Super Bowl. We went on the air at 10 a.m. I had to be there at 5 a.m. I was miserable. I mean, seriously, like it was exciting to do.
This is why I don't do these things
It was
anymore.
a grueling week. I was miserable with the hours because we would stay late on the night before, and then driving from LA. They were all at the hotel. Driving from LA, I think I told you I asked for a hotel, and they told me from their $7 million commercials, they told me the budget was too tight, so they couldn't give me a hotel. Friggin' NBC.
22 cameras.
Right, 120. Yeah, that they got. So So what was tough
George.
was leaving. We left late, and and Remy had to take off. And leaving took about an hour to get out of the parking lot. So that
Hey, Todd?
was, yes.
Yeah, I was fortunate to work 3 Super Bowls on site, and I always remember at that Sunday night there was at the NFL hotel, they would have a party for all the people, a lot of the people that worked the game and watched the game. That was when we got to watch the game for the first time.
Right.
Afterward, and the look of weariness and relief on everyone's faces that night, it was just incredible because it's just 24/7.
I don't miss. I don't miss. I don't miss
miss
the
it.
Olympics. I don't miss any of that stuff.
No,
Yeah.
it was
no,
cool.
I definitely. People would say, because I was on the field for some of the games, wasn't it exciting? I'm like, yeah, I was real excited being, one point I was down in the bowels of the stadium. No, people don't understand. You're not seeing anything.
Which
fun.
stadiums were you
for
at? Which stadiums did you go to?
I was, Miami, and then the Superdome was the biggest one because it was the first Super Bowl after 9/11.
Right.
And so I remember walking in that morning, again, I think it was 7 a.m., and it was wild because it was all chain link fence around the stadium and military personnel with assault rifles. And you had to go through 5 checkpoints to get in. That was surreal because I literally thought, because it was right after 9/11, I'm like, what the F is going to happen today? It was just crazy. So I feel for you because I know those long days.
I can attest that I am probably the only director in NBA history that got urinated on by a Bengal tiger before my broadcast.
No, I think that was me in the Bengals outfit.
No, that was in Atlanta.
Wow, that was a real a Bengal?
A Bengal tiger. The Barnum and Bailey Circus was playing in between games.
Right.
And if you remember the old Omni, Rick knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You parked down in the loading
downstairs in the bowels. Yeah.
And adjacent
But what were
to
you
all this,
doing in the cage with the Bengal?
showing superiority.
Well, were you auditioning for
I
who
was
those
having
Vegas
I
who
was
those
having
Vegas
my,
guys?
I was having my camera meeting outside the truck.
Oh,
And
you
they
were
drove
auditioning
by.
for Siegfried and Roy.
Right, and Siegfried got me on the way by.
Oh, he streamed it at you.
He streamed it at me, yes.
Oh man.
So everybody thinks TV's a glorious life.
Oh yeah.
You're right.
Lou, that explains everything.
Yes. But Todd, you'll get one of these, baby.
What?
You didn't see it, Todd?
Oh yeah, I was looking at something else. Yeah, no, I hope I get one for the Super Bowl.
We hope.
I don't know. I don't know how good a show it was, so I don't.
The graphics are nice. I like the graphics. They were clean.
Yeah, well, I don't think the Winter Olympics that's usually the tough one, but I think there's so many people against the Olympics that, that won't be. So Casey, so you were at New Orleans. I love New Orleans. That's one of my favorite cities. That's where Lou is from. That's where he lives.
I got lucky. I got to do Miami, New Orleans, and Atlanta. Even though that was the year Atlanta got hit with the cold storm, and so everyone freaked out because it was completely iced. And I remember sitting in the hotel lobby where we were staying, and it was on an incline on a hill. And in the morning, we sat there having coffee, and we watched cars. They'd come around the corner, and no one had snow tires or chains. So they all slid down. We watched car after car just slide down the road into fire hydrants and telephone poles.
Hey, Bill, you live that every day.
Yeah, what's the problem? That's life.
They're used to it in Boston.
So I don't know if any of you watch on the NFL Films has an Instagram, and they play some. I want to see if I could play some of this stuff. I'm gonna add this, and hopefully I could get some of this stuff in here. This is Joe.
Yeah, you got it.
Hey, Vaughn. Joe, nice to meet you, bro. What up, Aaron? Hey, Eric. I'm Joe. Nice to meet you, brother. I love watching you grow up. Love watching you grow up.
That's good.
I appreciate you, brother. Yes, sir. Hey, Vaughn.
Yeah, that's going to be like on Inside the NFL, and
That's funny.
yeah, I'm going to show a couple of these. This is you know what? I didn't see this one. Let's see what this one is. I don't know if there's video of it.
Your wife's giving birth. I love it.
Your wife's giving birth right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
We gotta go.
And they show him running out of the stadium.
Mommy's gonna have your brother. We gotta get to the hospital.
And then here's one. I just love this stuff. They did such a great job with this.
Hey, let's get the offense down here real quick. Let me talk to him. Let me just tell you something right now. What you're not going to regret is waking up right now, playing our best ball, good execution, be in the moment. One play at a time, believe it, and you'll be world champs. All right, Matthew, you ready for this? This is going to be your game winner right here, buddy.
Stafford from under center, steps back, throws the fade, back shoulder, Cooper Kupp's got it! Touchdown, LA!
Yes! Yes!
15 plays, 79 yards.
I love you, man. Whatever happens, I love you. That's a big time drive.
Hey.
I just think some of that stuff is just so that's on Instagram, NFL Films, and they're going to have a show, I think, Inside the NFL, and they're going to put stuff. But if you want to watch any of that, go onto Instagram and NFL Films. It's really cool. I love mic'd up stuff. You know, they do such a great job. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. That play, that Cooper, that fade, that's actually OBJ's play that they run for him all the time. Eric, and you know this, that usually is Odell's play, but since he got injured, they had Cooper run that play. Cooper had not run that play the whole season that I can remember.
No, Cooper could run anything, but yeah, that was kind of that's where he threw it to Beckham in the first one, right? It was it wasn't that play, but it was to the right side. That's where I'm pretty sure. I think that
they ran that play to left side in the championship game to Beckham.
Oh, I wanted to show another one with
and the video of tears in Beckham's eyes was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, can I say one thing about the commercials? I know, Todd, you probably didn't get to see them. I just thought it was amazing that practically 99% of the commercials had celebrities in them. 5 years ago, it probably would have been 1 out of 5, and 10 years ago, it would have been 0. It used to be taboo for celebrities to do commercials. I just kind of thought it symbolized our total celebrity brand culture.
Yeah,
another thing they did,
and that's how they make money now. They don't. There's so many things going on. They probably don't make as much money as. Here's the tears one that you were talking about.
Come right here.
That's the way to go, big dog. I love you, man. You helped us out so much. No doubt, right? I got you, big dog. That's what I'm talking about. I got you.
I'm glad that he scored a touchdown because that made this, worthy that it happened. He was crying for a reason.
He really redeemed himself. I guess he has a torn ACL and he might miss all next season, which is horrible.
Yeah, you think he's coming back next year? What do you think?
They're coming back faster from Achilles like Cam Akers, but I don't know. I heard somewhere they said all season he might be out.
Yeah, I don't know. There's going to be – we can talk about that, the free agents, and let's see what this one is.
I need you, babe. Come on. I need you.
2nd down 7.
Got a wide. Turn was it.
4 Bengals rushing Stafford. He steps up and deals over the middle. Cooper Kupp makes the catch. The Triple Crown winner cannot be stopped. Matthew Stafford's done it again.
That was his best pass.
That's the one we were talking about.
That's where he froze the free safety Bell. He had Bell leaning to the left.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier. Is he had that no look, and what a great pass that was. To and this was at the end of the game. I mean, this mic'd up stuff was so good. It's just
Oh,
so good.
the ISO cameras too.
That's why they have 122 of them.
Yep.
Another thing that I noticed from a broadcast perspective.
Player, you got a great future, man. Love competing against you. Just keep being you, buddy. Appreciate you. All right, man. Great job.
I never saw.
What was that, Lou?
I was going to say I never saw more commercials where I didn't know what the product was.
The bouncing. What's that code?
Exactly. It was unbelievable. I'm sitting there watching The Sopranos. I said, okay, what are they selling? First rule of advertising: mention your product. And I'm sitting there.
You know what? Maybe next week, if I have time, I'll put together some commercials.
Yeah.
And
the funny thing about that QR code, the one that had the bouncing screensaver, they got exactly what they wanted. Not everyone, but a lot of people clicked on it, but then their website crashed because too many people clicked on it. So they got the perfect result. Well, I guess they got exactly what they wanted, and sometimes, what do they say? Be careful of what you wish for.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they got, well, it was 112 million viewers. I think it was the most. So here's a good one.
Less than a yard to gain on fourth down with 43 seconds remaining.
Hey, what else could you want? What else could you want? Right now, let's go. Let's go. Hey, Aaron, this is the moment. Right now.
For the world championship right here.
Burrow to throw for it. He's hit. He blinks it away on fourth down. Aaron Donald got there.
That was great.
That was great. This shit gives me chills.
The greatest of all time does it in the biggest moment of Super Bowl 56.
Yep.
Aaron, hey, come here. Hey, I knew. World champs. Great job. We're world champs. Yes, sir. We're world champs. I knew you would make that play. We're world champs. I knew you would make that play.
Just fantastic stuff.
Powerful.
You know, yeah, it's just great. It's like it's you know, so exciting to do that stuff. And I don't do. Julio, what do you think of that stuff? Because I love that stuff, the mic'd up stuff.
Man, I love it. I mean, that last play, I'm gonna be honest with you. Me and my son, I have an 18-year-old that's a huge Ram fan, just like me. When I saw that last play, when Aaron Donald wrapped up Burrow like that, we were jumping for joy. And honestly, I cried, man. I mean, all these years of all the suffering, and I love hearing all that stuff, man. It's great getting all the, the sound bites. But I wanted to go. If it's okay, Todd, I wanted to give you two takes on a couple of things. My first being Cooper Kupp. Why didn't he get the MVP? And I'm going to say, and with all due respect to my East Coast
and you mean regular season, right?
Regular season. And with all due respect to my East Coast colleagues here, there seems to be some East Coast bias. It's always existed. We know this. The other reason I don't think he got the MVP is because he's not a quarterback. We discussed this earlier. The other reason is Cooper Kupp is a very mild-mannered player. He's not a showboat. He's not, in controversy. He goes about his job. He does what he's supposed to do. He reminds me of Steve Nash, Stockton when he was with the Utah Jazz. He's not a glamorous showboat. Let's be honest. That's why he's not getting the votes. So, I personally think he should have got it. My other take is, Todd, and correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding is it was a 60-40 to, more Bengals fans at SoFi for the Super Bowl than Ram fans, correct?
Yeah, there was a lot of Bengals fans there.
And that's so sad because, we're here in Southern California. I myself could not afford a ticket. $5,000 for one seat? Give me a break. Ridiculous. I mean, if you want more Ram fans, the Rams organization, shame on you for putting Eric Dickerson up in the nosebleeds. I don't blame him for not attending. If you're a legend like Eric Dickerson, he should have been on the field.
Right.
That guy's a legend.
It should have been about like a legend suite or something.
Yeah, I mean, I respect Eric Dickerson's decision for not going. And it's so sad that it was 60% more of Bengals fans than Ram fans. You know, you should give an opportunity to some of these season ticket holders, give them a discount or something. I know that they did a giveaway and such, but $5,000 and $7,000 for parking—that's ridiculous.
Hey, when you got millionaire owners and millionaire players, they don't give a rat's
They
ass
don't
about the
care.
fans.
That's right.
And I think it was an LA thing, it was like an event. LA makes an
Soccer
event. There were
team.
people there that wanted to be seen. It was a I want to be seen type of thing. These celebrities don't necessarily love the Rams, but they
And Todd,
wanted to be seen.
to pick up on a couple of points on Julio's real quick. On the one, just a little thing I heard going into the game, the odds makers looking at the potential MVP candidates. One of the biases, this is just riffing on the quarterback thing, is that if Odell Beckham has a really good game, there's still a chance that a Matthew Stafford gets the MVP. That happens a lot where, sometimes the offensive player, the receivers, they won't get it because they'll say, well, who's throwing it to him? So that's one reason sometimes the odds makers look at it a certain way. On the LA aspect of it, the LA still needs a long time to build their generation of fans. They had the parade yesterday, and unfortunately, they only got 11,000 people to come out for the parade
Oh,
yesterday.
wow.
Versus the Kings, when they had their championship parade, I don't know how many years ago, it's about 7 or 8, they had 300,000. They really underestimated what they were going to be able to generate. And part of it is the generational thing. Like, for example, Julio was there with his son, who was 18 and has been a Rams fan. But, yesterday there was probably dads with kids in their 5s and 6s and 7s and 8s. And those 5s and 6 and 7 and 8-year-old kids are going to be the ones in 10 years that will be real Rams fans. And it's going to take a while to change it.
That's a great point, Casey. I just feel, we didn't have football in LA for 20 years, and I get it. The LA fan base gravitated towards Green Bay, Pittsburgh, and this is the one I hate the most, San Francisco. It kills me as a Dodger fan when I see a freaking a diehard bleed blue Dodger fan that roots for the freaking Niners. No true Dodger fan would root for a San Francisco team no matter what, and that kills me. That burns me, and I call it out when I see it. How dare you root for the Niners? If you're a true Dodger fan, you will not root for a San Francisco team. But you're right, Casey. There's a generational gap. No football for over 20 years. Hopefully we start rebuilding the Ram fan base.
You're muted, Todd.
I think next year is going to be big. It's going to be a big comeback for the Rams. A lot of free agents the Rams have. So, it's too bad Eric left. There's going to be some changes. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with them? Is Donald going to retire? Who knows? So, you have Casey, you have a take on that?
I would say the Rams have done a really good job of, because everyone says, because Les Snead's mantra is fuck draft picks. He says that because until you're a suspect until you're a prospect is another way another coach puts it. But what they've also done is we look at their big fancy free agent signings and they're giving up picks and all that. But they've also done really well with some of their later picks. Remember that Cooper Kupp is, I believe, a 6th round pick out of Eastern Washington, 3rd or 6th round, later round. I believe Higbee's a draft pick too as well. So they've done a really good job of, even though they're getting rid of some of their early draft picks, they're making it up in their later ones. So that's, if they reload, how are they going to reload? They've done a really good job of finding the talent that fits their program. So we'll see if they can do that again. Like a Von Miller, what do he could command big bucks next year, somewhere else. Is someone they want to keep? Because they gave up, I believe, 2 draft picks for him.
And it is a money game now because it's not like a loyalty thing. It's not like, Bill and Lou know, like the Celtics, those guys were teams together. Havlicek, Don Nelson, all those guys. The Knicks, they were the Lakers, they were teams together that stayed together. But now it's such a money game that guys will come and go. All of a sudden, Cup, not saying he's leaving, but a team goes, hey, we're going to double your salary, and see you later. There we go.
Loyalty goes out the window.
And it's
Well,
funny you say that
Money
too.
talks.
You look at the Lakers, and I don't like this Lakers team very much. I enjoyed last year's Lakers team in the one, I in the bubble one. I didn't love them, but at least I felt good about them. I don't feel anything good about this Laker team. Even if they were playing well, I would tell you, I don't feel good about them because they just
They
not
carried
like
off.
vibe.
They carried off their savior last night after LeBron when Davis went down again.
Lou, I know you're loving that being from New Orleans. I know.
Yes, sir. We sure
But
are.
I don't like, they became like a buying team. We're going to buy this, we're going to buy that. It's not, back even when Shaq and Kobe, that team was together for a while. Shaq and Kobe and Derek Fisher and Rick Fox and Robert Horry, they were together. They weren't like changing guys every year. Who are we going to buy? Who are we going to buy? And then they made that one year where they had Karl Malone and Gary Payton, and they try to have a super team. It didn't work.
But there's still parity in the NBA. Look at San Antonio winning it. Look at the smaller markets. So, I mean, it's not like the NFL.
No, but coaching is big too. There's such a, Greg Popovich is who's coaching the Pelicans?
Willie Green.
How's he doing?
He's doing fine.
Didn't he play for the Packers, Willie Green?
The other Willie Green. They're in 11th place tonight. They got demolished by the Mavericks tonight on tonight's All-Star break. So everybody's heading.
Who's their guy? Who's the guy that the big disappointment?
Zion.
Oh, is he playing or what?
No, he's rehabbing. I don't think you'll see him again in a Pelicans uniform. He's in
modern
Portland
Greg
rehabbing.
Oden. He's like a Greg Oden.
Hey Lou, too
Yes,
many beignets and po' boy sandwiches there, huh?
Well, I don't. Partially. He's like a Greg Doherty.
It's not
Huge body,
for sure.
small legs, narrow legs, and he's susceptible to injury. But yeah, he likes his poor boys.
Well, what did he come out? Was he a freshman when he came out or a sophomore?
Sophomore.
I think he was one and done.
Yeah, he was one and done.
I just am so against that because I think guys are not physically, even though he's a big guy, you're going from college to pro. It's a completely different game.
Well, most of them hit the wall after about 40 games anyways.
What was that?
Most of them hit the wall, the college kids that come out at about 40 games, half a season.
It's so rare. Once in a while you get a great high schooler, Kevin Garnett, Kobe. But overall, these guys are coming out too early. They're not physically developed, and they're going to get hammered.
I'm not Lou. I'm sorry, Todd. To give you a counterpoint, the NFL though uses their college teams like a minor league farm system. They don't pay for it. Like I did a Casey Takes earlier this year on Brooks, the tight end from Georgia. You got Kirk Herbstreit saying that Brooks has an NFL body and an NFL ready skill set. He's only a freshman. He's got to do 2 more years there, risk basically getting a career-ending injury. So that's kind of the trade-off. You have the one and done in the NBA, but I'm sorry, in the NFL, the college, the NBA.
Right.
But then you have the NFL. They basically get a free farm system with the college. Would you like to have the college?
Yeah, but I still think it's better
Casey's
to
right.
stay
They have the
in.
Senior Bowl, and they all show up to.
I think it's better that they stay in because that 2 years you're still 17 as a freshman or 18, and you're going to develop physically. Your body is going to solidify a little bit more in that 2 years. And I mean, look at the NBA game. It's now it's like a high-end college game. It's not a low-end NBA game anymore. It's guys they can't play. They got to get trained in the NBA. These guys got to coach them to play because and they don't even play. They shoot the three now. They don't even play a game.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So they don't have skill sets anymore. They come out, they shoot. You don't have Iverson and
practice.
I'm actually I'm a college basketball fan.
You took the words out of my
college
mouth.
game.
Casey, you took the words out of my mouth. Definitely.
Well, then Rick, then you're not going to have nothing to say because the words are good.
I'm not saying anything.
See, no, I totally disagree. I find that the college game is so boring the last 2 minutes of the
They
game.
play from the heart. The guys in the NBA don't play from the heart.
I'm not disputing that, but I'm just saying it takes forever to finish a college game. Where the NBA, it's
Well,
structured
that's partially
to happen under 2 hours and
for the
6
coaching.
minutes, and
Yeah,
that's
come on.
it.
If it's a close game, they're fouling like crazy. Give me a break.
If it's a blowout, the game's going to be over quick. If it's a close game, it's going to be forever.
I'm going to give you guys a perfect example. Last night, the Lakers were playing the Jazz on I think it was ESPN1, and then on ESPN2 it was Gonzaga versus Pepperdine. Guess what game I was watching? I was watching Pepperdine versus Gonzaga. I mean, I'm a huge Laker fan, but Gonzaga just intrigues me more.
One of the things about the NBA game that's been dissuading me is it's become pick and roll and ISO, find your matchup, and put everyone else on the perimeter. So you basically want to get like Chris Paul against Gobert. You're going to set it up so then you got Chris Paul against Gobert, and everyone else goes to the perimeter, and I just get tired of that. Versus the college game, at least I get to see some defense and playmaking. Personal thing.
Yeah, no.
I think the evolution of Steph Curry in the NBA has really hurt the NBA overall. All these kids are trying to shoot the ball from the logo now. They all want to do
it's a terrible game.
It's terrible. They want to do a step back. It's horrible.
They got to make some rule changes. I would suggest rule changes. Like if you get fouled shooting a three, you only get 2 shots. Or if you're in a penalty, or if you're in mid range, go. Remember the old 3 for 2 or 1 and 1 like they do in college? Remember the pros used to have 2 for 3 or 3 for 2. I forgot what it was. But go back to that. Go into the mid range. If you're in the bonus, you get 3 for 2. So give them incentive to shoot mid range. And because I think it's such you never see fadeaways anymore. You never see a Walt Frazier drive in, back him in, turn around, fade away. You don't see those guys. You're not going to see Pete Maravich doing great passes, and you don't see it anymore. So it's just
Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon with the shake and bake moves. Yeah. Kevin McHale, Bill, I know you love that reference. I hate Kevin McHale, but he was an awesome post player.
Pick the picker. That's all they would do is pick the picker.
Yeah, and
Parrish would roll off it, and they'd give the lob to Parrish, and he'd jam it.
Yeah, James Worthy, post players. There's none of that anymore. Nope. There's no mid-range game. It's all about the three-pointer, and it's sick.
That's what I'm saying. Every
7-footer thinks he's a point guard, and every point guard thinks he's a 7-footer.
You don't even have centers anymore. You don't even have centers. But so I'm gonna wrap it up because we are gonna talk some NBA coming up pretty soon. This is the All-Star break, and I don't even know who's playing. I don't even like that they do it on popularity because it's the same guys every year. Yeah. And you know what? I had a thing, and I suggested this to TNT, but and the NBA, they got when they do the rookie game, it's the first game. Whoever wins MVP, they should just do a game that next week in that city. Like play up on the guy. He just won. But they forget him. And I remember when Adam Levine or whatever, not Adam. What are those guys?
Zach Levine.
Zach Levine, and he was singing, and they said, no, that's Adam. You can't be singing, Zach. So go back to playing basketball. So Zach Levine had a great game. He won like rookie of the game or something, and then you never see him the whole year because they don't go to that team. So go show that team, show it on a national game. You want to. They say that show the same guys every week. It's the same teams. I remember the old games on ABC and CBS. It was special because you weren't having a game every week on ESPN. So you'd see Boston against Milwaukee, the Bucks. You'd see the Suns would play somebody. It was always something, and it was unique because you saw 2 teams out of your market that you never saw play together. So
the NBA has become they're very star driven, and they're leaning into that. The NFL, because you got guys in helmets, and some guys you couldn't even know, you wouldn't know who they were without their helmet on.
Absolutely correct.
So the NBA is really leaned in because if you watch any NBA preview, when they're doing a game, when they're going to say next week we're going to have this game. And they're always, what they show is like, it's going to be LeBron and Zion, or it's going to be Chris Paul and Kyrie. That's the way they promote the games for the next week when they're doing their promos.
They have the pictures of the
visual.
exactly what they do. So, well, thanks again. This was a good show. This was I'm glad we got to talk a little Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Ram. I called Matt Stafford to be on the show, but I think I called
He
the
blew
wrong
you
number.
off.
I think I got like Domino's instead.
He's still hung over on that Don Julio 1942 he was drinking.
Oh man,
Very good brand, by the
You
way.
didn't go to Disney World? Wait.
Thanks for the
You know,
invitation,
it's
guys.
cool though
Enjoyed it.
because they the emotion that we saw, especially in those NFL films thing, it wasn't about the money. It was really the emotion of winning the game, and
Mhm.
that was exciting to see. And again, that was on Instagram, NFL Films. If you want to go see it, Bill, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
For your
Appreciate it.
first time. Hope we see you again sometime. Rick, thanks for coming on.
Good to
Haven't
see
seen you
you.
in a while. Lou, good to see you. Julio, thank you. Casey, could I go off on? Do I have any more? Let me see.
Don't worry.
I got
Don't
more
worry
on her.
about
We're
it.
not gonna hold on a second. We're not gonna let this go. Wait a second.
Oh,
It didn't take this long to shoot Ben-Hur. Come on.
Yeah.
I have no ego in this. Come on, let's go. Don't worry
Not
about
the
it.
second one. No, I want to see it. I like it.
Your
Casey,
tasty
I'm up-
takes are
I'm up
always
for-
right on, Casey.
I
Your
wanna
tasty
see it.
takes are always right on.
I'm up for the estate with Nicolas Cage next week. I'll let you know how that works out.
Play calling and game management. However, during the third and short play on the last drive, I had a problem with his play call. Why do you go with Samaje Perine and not Joe Mixon on that play? Mixon has been your bell cow running back. He usually falls forward and gets positive yardage. And I don't think there was an element of surprise there. The Rams knew that it was a third and short, and you wanted to move the chains so you could kick the field goal to tie the game up. Unfortunately, I think Zach Taylor got a little bit too cute thinking he could surprise the Rams with that play call. Oh well, there's always next year, isn't there?
Yep.
And those are your tasty Casey takes on Super Bowl 56. Stay tuned for my takes on other sports in the upcoming weeks.
So now, just to what is with these guys trying to do surprise plays at the end? Like going back to Seattle when they blew the Super Bowl with that. Like, just play your game. Like, why would you go against your star player? Like the Rams used Cooper Kupp. He's their star player. They started going to him to the end of the game. Why not use your star running back to make your plays?
Didn't Taylor just talk about that today? He said that they kind of rushed the play and he didn't get a chance to substitute Mixon in there for Perriman. I can't remember what he said.
Call a timeout.
Yeah.
Unless they didn't have any left, but that's what makes a good coach.
They had two.
They had two left. Yeah, you know what? That's what makes a good coach. That's the difference between a Greg Popovich and not that Sean McVay's a great coach, because I don't think he is. I think he, that last series of downs was great, and he's obviously a good motivator. But there's some guys that make great calls, and that don't trick people. Play your game. Don't give it to a B guy. Give it to your A guy. Let your A guy make the play. Let him lose or win or lose a game. So. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody coming on. You guys are so wonderful. And
thank you, everyone.
Hey, Bill, give me a call when you get off.
Okay, Luke.
Bye.
See you guys. See you next week. And thanks everybody for tuning in. And it was a great show. We are going to move on from football in a sense. But we have a lot to talk about with coaching changes, adjustments, team adjustments coming up. And the following weeks, we'll start getting into the NBA. Will baseball come back? But congratulations to the Rams. It was a great season. We had a great first season here on Sports Gluttons. I am excited to say that we made every week except for last week. We didn't do one, but it was kind of an off week anyway. But when we started the show, we went straight through, and I'm pretty stoked about that. Next season, we're still going to go straight into other sports, but next season when sports starts, that's going to be fun. I think the NFL is a fun thing to do because you're talking about once a week games, so I'm excited about it. Thanks, everybody, and
cheers.
And hopefully we'll have a theme song soon. Gotta get us. I got a guitar player. I'm gonna try to a friend of mine. I think I'm gonna try to get him to write me a theme song. So hopefully next week. See you guys.